What's going on, guys? Jacoborthlasvegas back here with another video of Jacob's Life in Vegas. I hope everybody's life is doing great today because I know mine is. And I want to talk to you guys today about something that just kind of came to my mind a bit when I do other videos about, like, the economy here in Las Vegas, and I do updates of how it's doing every so often, for the locals and also for the tourists as well, because they are interconnected. And I thought about this when I did the video that I will link up here about the unions and the casinos, having to try to reach a new deal for their contract that they do every 5 years. And I was just thinking about, how well the local economy's been doing now for a while, the way technology is advancing, and then also, what we can expect, in 5 years when that next contract comes that they have to negotiate again. And, I want to talk about, like, things that I think will happen here in the area when the next recession hits. Now, keep in mind, I'm saying recession, I'm not saying crash, okay? Some people think, that when an economy goes down, it means it's a crash. No, economies are cyclical. They go up, or here in the US, they go up, they go down, up and down, up and down. It's an ebb and flow. Economies don't stay good forever, they don't stay bad forever. So that's an important thing to remember. And I'd want to say, the next recession, I think we're going to be down in, 2023 is when the next contract is due for the unions here in Las Vegas. That's kind of the time frame I want to look at, because I have a really hard time thinking that in 5 years that our economy is going to be doing well then as it is right now. 2018, the economy locally here is still doing well. I mentioned the real estate video the other day. I talked to someone in real estate who said, they think like towards the end of 2019, the economy or the real estate market's going to start to go down, unless the government starts like really lax on their loan standards starts to get into subprime again. They started getting subprime loans for people who, probably shouldn't have loans. A lot of people here think 2020 is going to be a big year. I've talked about this a little bit because there's supposed to be projects like, the Oakland Raiders are going to be the Las Vegas Raiders. The Drew Hotel is under construction. That's when they're trying to get it done around that time, 2020. Genting Group, trying to create I think it's World Resorts Hotel. That's supposed to come in 2020. And those are going to be a factor in what I'm talking about here, and those are going to impact the union contracts with the casinos. So remember, this is all just my belief, my opinion. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. I think in 2023, some of the things are going to happen, when this recession, when the economy starts to go down here again, okay? Two of our biggest industries are going to take a big hit, right? Tourism, hospitality is going to take a big hit, and then construction. That's going to hurt because obviously if the area is not growing, if there's not, growth and development right over here on the strip, new properties coming, being built, then, that's going to hurt construction, which means people are not going to have as many jobs. It's also going to be when if the economy is going down, it means there's not going to be as many homes being built. Okay, we're still going to have people coming to the area, but it's not going to be, we're not going to have as many homes being built as quickly. So, that's going to hurt big time, the tourism, the hospitality. A lot of people are going to get their hours cut. A lot of them are going to have their hours reduced. And, even with 2020 expected to be a big year, I doubt that 2020, even if it is a big year, is going to carry all the way into 2023 when the next contracts are due for the unions. Now, another thing I think is going to happen is, with the unemployment going up, in tourism and hospitality, and because of construction going down, is that the union contracts, I think, are going to have a tough time renegotiating with the casinos in 5 years. I say that because, talking to some of the locals here, they say union numbers are down already, because places, hotels, casinos, among other businesses, they enjoy automation, right? Because it's a small cost, in the short term, or you say it's a bigger cost in the short term, but it reduces their cost in the long term, if they can actually replace humans, if they can replace people, because you just have that upfront cost of putting in a machine. You don't have to really train a machine like you have to train people. If you have to fire people, you don't have to retrain them. When you hire someone new, you don't have to pay health insurance on them, right? They don't have to go home with an emergency because their kid got sick or something like that. They don't gossip in the workplace, right? Machines don't do that kind of thing. So, businesses are looking to automate more and more and more. And with the unions, they try to get, a raise for their union workers, okay? And that's understandable. It's part of what the union does. They try to negotiate a better deal, a better contract for their workers. That's going to be tough if the economy is going down. If the numbers are going down, revenue is going down in these hotels and casinos because the economy is not doing as well. So numbers are already going down, and you as the union, you want to keep your workers already getting paid this much, but you want to bring them up here. But the revenue is going down. The casinos aren't going to be able to do that. They're not going to be able to do that. So, there's a saying, a lot of you probably heard, that, necessity is the mother of invention. So if you're the casino and you're these hotels, on the strip, and you're already paying, a pretty good income to some of these union employees, you're not going to say no to a raise. You're probably just going to say no, that we can't do a raise. And your incentive is to start automating even more positions, because you say now we pretty much have to, right? Our numbers are going down. The unions want to get more money for the employees, which is understandable, but we just can't do that. We just don't have the money to do it. So right now you're in a spot at the hotel where you pretty much, you feel like it's a necessity for you to automate more and to cut people's jobs, to cut people out of jobs where you can, so that you can save on revenue, so that you can save on your cost to help increase your revenue, because your overall revenue is going down, right? Your gross revenue is going down, and your net revenue is going down. So if your gross revenue is going down, your net profit's going down, then you're going to have to try to do things you can to bring up the money or to cut your costs. And one of the things you can do to cut your costs is to automate more. So I think 5 years from now, I think the union numbers are probably going to go down even more, because more people are going to get automated, and their jobs are going to get automated. They're going to end up being displaced from their job here on the strip. So I think those are two big factors that are really going to take place here when the next recession hits. I think 2020 is obviously expected to be a big year here in Las Vegas, but at some point the economy has to come back down. It's going to come back down from, it's going to come back up. So I just want to talk about that, because I just don't think, I think in 5 years, we're going to be looking at a different Las Vegas. I really do. The next 5 years, I think Las Vegas is going to be different. I think, some of these other hotel properties coming to the strip can really have a benefit to you, the person who's coming just here to visit, because that's another thing that's going to really probably wind up working against the unions, but it could very well work to the benefit of the tourists. Is say, the Drew Hotel and say, Genting Group gets, Resorts World built. Okay, now there's two more properties on the strip that, people have to choose from when they're going to come here and they're going to come visit and stay, and where they're going to spend their money. That's two more places that all these other big hotels, right, all these companies here, that they now have to compete with, which is another thing that's going to make these hotels want to bring down their costs by using automation. And they're going to be using automation, which means they're going to have to cut jobs, which means the next negotiation with the union, they're probably not going to be able to give as much, as they were, obviously, in terms of financial resources and maybe commitment to training. They're just going to want to the hotels and casinos are probably going to be more prone to use the technology that we have now. Then in 5 years, who knows how much more advanced it'll be, where they can, cut certain jobs, automate, that'll keep their costs down so they can compete with these other new properties coming on the strip. So for you, the tourist, is not necessarily a bad thing, because the more competition there is, the more these casinos have to compete for your business. The more choice you have, the more they have to compete for your business. So a lot of these newer properties, there's a good chance they won't be charging for parking. Their resort fees are probably going to be very minimal compared to some of the other hotels, because they have to get your business. They're the new kid on the block. They have to do things to get people to leave the hotels they normally go to and come to their business. So in the next few years, when the economy's going down, if there's more properties on the strip, they're going to have to compete more for your business, okay? When the economy's going down, there are better deals, because the hotels can't charge as much because people don't have as much money to spend. People only come to Vegas, on a vacation. Coming here is a luxury, okay? It's not like buying groceries. People have to buy groceries in a good economy or a bad economy. Coming to Vegas is what you do when you have extra money to spend. So if the economy's going down, where the economy's not as strong as it was, you have more hotels on the strip, so now the current ones have to compete for your business in a down economy, and the new ones are going to compete as well. That can bring some great deals for you as the traveler. But I think for the unions and for other people here in town, that's going to wind up hurting them, just because there's not going to be as much money coming in, so there's not going to be able to pay as much to the employees. You're not going to probably be able to give them as much of a raise, if any raise at all. So I want to hear what you guys have to say about this, what you think about the economy in Vegas 5 years from now, when the next union contracts are going to be negotiated in 2023, how you think maybe 2018, 2019, 2020 are going to go, and then the few years into 2023 for those next negotiations. This is just what I see, and just my opinion, which is what I think is going to happen. Just looking, what I think for trends for how long the good economy is going to go, and at some point it's going to come down. What I see for other projects coming here to the strip, and just there's just with technology being developed the way it is too, with more companies trying to implement automation. So tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Remember, if you guys are coming on vacation here or plan to move here and you want to talk to me one-on-one, you can do that. Down below is a link for Clarity. That's where you can talk to me. We've already talked on there before and help someone with trying to move here, answered a whole bunch of their questions for them. If you want to donate, follow me on Patreon. I've got extra footage over on my Patreon channel that I only release there. I also do live hangouts over on Patreon as well, so you guys can get to talk to me on a monthly basis. If you want, you can even talk to me consulting there directly as well. So if you guys want to do any of that, links are down below. Thanks for watching this video. I'm Jacob. This is My Life in Vegas.